Who we gonna kick it off with?
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay, cornerback for the Detroit Lions. I was gonna say Pistons by accident. All right, I'm pulling up the sheets. Someone get started.
So, obviously, Darius Slay, great ass cornerback for the Lions.
Yep.
To be honest, I think the main reason why they want to trade him is because I feel like they know that they cannot re-sign him because he doesn't want to be there.
Yep.
And the whole reason why I feel like they don't want to be there is because of how they did Diggs dirty last season. Cordell Diggs or whatever his Quentin Drake. I forgot
the guy that went to Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. Overall, I personally feel like Diggs is like one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the league. And that's why he has such like a good name as like a hot commodity to trade for.
Wait, Slay, right?
Yeah, Darius Slay.
I just want to make sure
my mistake. Mixing up names.
Yeah, I was like, we're talking about Slay, right? All right.
Yeah. Personally, I am in the thinking that they're gonna try to send him to like a. Obviously, they don't want to send him to someone in the NFC.
Yes,
they're going to try to avoid that.
Definitely not in the division. Not in the division. I don't know if you can avoid it, to be honest. In my opinion, I don't know if you can avoid it.
Most of the teams that are cornerback needy are in the NFC, sadly.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that Houston might be a big player for Darius Slay. So, mostly because their defense ranked in the 29th last season.
Yep. I got a handful of teams, but let's talk about Texans. Yep, they were 29th in passing yards.
Mm-hmm.
They were 27th in touchdowns given up, and they ranked 17th in interceptions.
Yeah,
so they're definitely hurt.
And they're gonna lose Robbie, right? They're gonna lose their already corner.
They're gonna lose.
So
they're gonna try and replace him with someone that's even better. Obviously,
I thought Josh Norman was gonna end up there. We know that he signed with the Bills, but I really thought Josh Norman was somehow gonna end up there. I don't know why.
But he had like no connection there.
Fair.
Like he had a huge connection.
I thought he was gonna go there for cheap because they're in need and he needs money.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Well, no, he signed a massive contract. He has money.
He needs more money.
Yeah,
everyone needs more money, right? No, I feel you. I think that's honestly what's gonna end up happening. Do you want to give your pick?
I have a couple, but we can talk through it. But I was gonna say they also could pay him now before Deshaun Watson.
That's true.
Mega deal.
There's a mega deal. You know, that's actually very true.
So they can get him now. They can pay Deshaun later as well, and it could work out. And they drastically need a cornerback right now.
Agreed. They have $50 million in cap space. I looked it up earlier today. About like $50 million. So that's enough to bring on the $10 million that Darius Slay
he's going to demand more than $10 million.
But for this year, he has $10 million left on this.
But
year.
Immediately, whatever team signs him, they're going to rework his contract.
Okay, that's fair.
Where do you think he's going?
So the Eagles are gonna jump on somebody because they were terrible against the pass.
That is another one of my teams as well. But they had injuries, right? With Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby.
Yeah,
but neither one of those guys can be put in the same like.
Slay is still an upgrade.
I agree. I mean, so right now they have
for a lot of teams.
So they had those two that got hurt. So then they had Sidney Jones.
Yeah, they stepped up. Yeah.
He stepped up. But if they could get Sidney Jones back and they can get Darius Slay in a mid-round draft pick, their secondary could look pretty good.
Oh, I mean, you go from one of the worst to above middle tier at that point.
But again, they're coming off of those injuries and all that, so that's another place where I could see them going. But,
for
it's still a little bit of a stretch, you know.
I think that they're going to be attached to some cornerback at some point in free agency, in trade market or something, because they can't keep going like this. They have their quarterback. They have the pieces right now to still make a run. You can't waste that. The window closes real quick. But that's not my overall pick. My actual pick, I think that Kansas City makes a move on him because look,
interesting.
You're losing your two of your top three corners, I would say, in Breland and Fuller. Losing, maybe, right? You could be losing in free agency. You're a very cornerback needy team. Again, window, right? You want to make the most of the window you have. Why not get Slay right now? Go for another one. Go back to back.
So I actually have two teams. One was the Houston Texans. The other one is the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
But wait, no. Tell me why not the KC before we go off of it, because no one said anything, and I wonder am I just crazy and you just want to ignore it?
I was gonna leave it at that you're crazy, but
Okay, thanks, man. Thanks.
The main reason why I think that they don't is because they're trying to re-sign Mahomes already, and
Sure.
Mahomes is gonna sign the
Maybe it's
richest
a 1 year
contract.
Maybe it's a one year. Just like let's go for another one while we can get it.
potentially,
go.
but
That's
That's
potential.
a little,
He's 30.
That's a
He's
bit of a
30 then.
stretch, and just with all the other teams that are there, I don't think they're the top contender.
The main reason why I think that they won't do a 1 year trade is because realistically, yeah, they may be wanting to try and maximize on their opportunity while they have it right now, but the Kansas City Chiefs are not dumb. They're not going to try to trade a good asset that they have for next to a 1 year rental,
Okay.
right?
They're building long term.
Yeah,
For sure.
they're
Okay.
always going to be building long term, and I think that's why they're going to let both of those corners hit the market.
Yeah.
Because they're not trying to invest that much more money
And you
into.
have nothing. Like who's gonna play corner then? Me? I'm not a good corner, man.
They're
gonna
relying
draft a
on
corner.
that offense, right? They put up numbers.
They're going
I
to
guess so,
draft a corner. I'm calling it right now.
Okay. All right.
But
Right now, they have the luxury to put up the points, right?
Sure,
They have the
sure.
luxury. They're not a struggling offense and a struggling defense.
I just
Did-
I'd be worried because like look, you're gonna play Baltimore, right? And Baltimore did like collapse on themselves at the end of the year, right? They lost, right?
Yeah.
But they're gonna try to capitalize.
I mean, it's
on
not
it.
good in the last few playoff games and leading up to even the Super Bowl, right? They were down. They're always playing catch up.
Exactly.
They
so,
have the luxury that they can have that offense
For
to
sure, but
bring
now
them back.
imagine
But
the
how
catch-
long is that really going to last?
Imagine the catcher being bigger because you're not
Yeah.
stopping the other team. That's
I don't know.
not
I
good.
think like
I'd love to see it.
I think
I'd
like
love
you
to see it.
said that maybe they'll go draft someone. And
No,
kind of go down that
yeah,
route right now.
I got you. So wait, you were saying Seattle. What was
so, number one, we've already seen that they can work out a trade with the Seahawks
yeah
and Detroit.
Golden Tate?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, Golden Tate way
Was-
back in the day, but
yeah.
Quandre Diggs last season, right?
Oh yeah.
And so he already has a teammate that he absolutely loves to play with,
Yeah,
Diggs. So Diggs may try and kind of convince him too to come over for a lesser price.
for sure.
But they
And-
also have a lot of cap room.
Yeah, they have a lot of cap room.
I just think they have bigger needs.
They-
Well, last year they were 27th.
Yeah, they were ranked 27th in the pass, and
They gave up 4,200 yards.
yeah,
Okay, I'll
And they
save
have-
my other argument for later.
and like the big thing is like, dude, everyone looks at Seattle and they want the Legion of Boom.
Sure.
They don't have that, and like
Sure,
their
sure.
pass
Ever since-
defense is a
yeah.
weak point for them.
Ever since they lost the Legion of Boom, they haven't been the same.
yeah, exactly.
And
And-
those are big shoes to fill, but I mean, at some point you're gonna have to rebuild.
Yeah, and the second that they get Diggs, they're kind of right back into it,
Okay.
right?
I mean, no, I definitely read into it, and then Seattle was definitely an option. I just feel like there's other needs that they need to like Russell Wilson is dying out there. Like,
yeah, but you know what? Seattle always makes moves for their defense.
yeah, but
They've
maybe
always
they need to-
historically made, under Pete Carroll, they trade for defensive players.
Sure. I understand. Even with what's his name, Clowney, right?
Yeah.
They got Clowney. I get that, but yo, you need to protect Russell Wilson, who's getting paid whatever $100 million. Like, you go nowhere without Russell Wilson at this
Yeah.
point, right? Like, if he gets hurt or something happens, like, you're going nowhere. Like, it doesn't matter how good your defense is at that point,
Yeah.
because Tavares Jackson or whoever the backup is right now ain't gonna do nothing for you, right?
Yeah.
In comparison, that's what I'm like. I don't know if they should make this move because it's not just a $10 million this year. You're going to restructure and it's going to be like 12. Like, Darius Slay commented or tweeted back to, I think it was NFL Network, and was like, the best cornerback's going to pay like $13 million or something, right? He's like, y'all thinking too low for me. And I'm like, do you really want to spend that money if you're Seattle?
But
And
you
not
know what?
protect them?
We've already seen that Seattle's willing to do the 1 year rentals.
We'll see
Okay,
if
fair.
history
That's
repeats
fair.
itself.
Huh?
We'll see if history repeats
That's
itself.
fair. That's fair.
Like,
That's fair.
with Clowney, it was a 1 year rental, basically.
They thought they were going to re-sign him, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
Because
but
then
you know
he
what?
wanted
If they really wanted to, they would have slapped the franchise tag on him.
a lot of money.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, they have some money to spend, and they have the opportunity to,
Yeah,
slap the franchise tag. No one's going to want to sign right now until the CBA is done.
for sure. Yeah, I
right?
mean, there is no...
So anyone that you want to kind of keep, they're not staying until the CBA is completed.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Right?
No,
So
that's fair.
That's why you see a lot of these big name guys, no one's re-signing yet.
That's fair.
Like, everyone's trying to work on deals, but it's so hard to determine how to work out a deal until you have a CBA in place.
That's fair because there might be a lot more money
Yeah, exactly.
And then some people get screwed because they didn't get that money.
And like we'll talk about contracts in a bit, but realistically, like if we're saying 10 million or 13 million is a good amount for a corner now, depending on the CBA, dude, those
It might be
every
nothing.
single year, those prices jack up.
For sure.
Doesn't matter how good you are. Like, remember Kirk Cousins, we always thought he was like an average quarterback. He signed an 89 million or
80
84?
something million. I think it was 84.
Yeah,
That right?
$84 million for 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
that's a crazy amount for what we thought was Kirk Cousins.
But that's just the market dictated.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
fair. That's
the
fair.
market for those positions are going to just keep jacking up the price.
For sure. Who's your
another
take?
place?
Yeah.
Another place I got Tampa Bay.
I saw that too. Tampa has money.
Yeah, they have the third highest cap space in the
With like
league.
80 million or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. They also allowed the third highest passing yards, 4,300 yards. And right now the corners aren't great, so if they could bring in someone to take some
And Todd
pressure
Bowles
off,
knows how to use corners.
yeah, he knows the strengths and weaknesses of his corners,
Yeah.
and he could probably put him in a place to succeed. So
Yeah. For sure.
The big thing that we got to remember with all these different trade scenarios is who actually has the assets to trade with.
right.
It's gonna be picks. You're gonna have to give up a pick.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
okay, what is the price for Darius Slade? Do you think? What is like? Let's round it out with. Unless you have any other picks, like any other places you want to mention.
The only other place I have the Raiders.
The Raiders are also going to be big spenders because they have the money, right?
They got the money. They finished 30th in pass defense,
And they need to be decent if you're going to go to a
don't
new
have
city.
any corner really that's high value.
Dude,
right
they've
now.
been terrible.
And I think they're willing to just be like, we need that ASAP
Yeah.
change right now.
Especially you're going to a new city, you want to be decent coming into. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
not going to
And
get banned.
They haven't done anything in the last 2 years, so
I'm going to ask two questions. Do you have any other teams you want to mention?
no,
Okay.
that's all I got.
Then the first question, just to round it out, right? Where do you think he ends up? Like, we gave some options. Where do you think he ends up? Like, gun to your head.
Gun to my head, I want to say
Texans.
Seattle.
I think I see him at the Texans.
Texans, Seattle. I think it will be the Eagles, and I think we're going to see him twice a year. Both of us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them like be like strategic in their moves, right?
Yeah.
They're an unfortunately good franchise. All right, then what is the asking price for Darius Slade? This is a harder question because
Yeah, I was
these
say, I
things
don't know.
are.
It could be.
You're not giving up a first for this guy.
I think no. I think
third,
I think you give either a second,
straight up, that's it.
straight up second, or a third
and a
plus
fifth.
a fifth.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's more along the third and the fifth because again, he's almost 30. He's going to be 30 when the year starts, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that.